Well, guys, thank you. Thank you all for coming today. We have a small group, so we definitely want to keep it conversational. I'm going to tell you guys a lot of great information. A little bit about me. My name is Shay Berman, president of Digital Resource. We are a boutique internet marketing agency located out of West Palm Beach, Florida. I started this company 4.5 years ago from my couch. Today we have 38 team members and over 250 dentists that we work with on a daily basis. We definitely specialize in dental, and we're very passionate about the dental business and how the business side relates to the marketing side. Although I own a marketing agency and would love to have you all as clients, this is totally about you guys today and learning what you can do in your practices on your own, what you can do to look out for if you do go and hire a company, whoever it may be. So please feel free to ask me questions. I get very excited about talking about this stuff. Thank you. All right. So social media and internet marketing for dental practices. We're going to talk about a few different topics today. After I figure out this button.
Is it working?
Is it off?
Hold on. I do. I break everything.
Hold on, I think I figured it out.
It might still have the other one off.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean,
it is a really old computer.
What does it
And
mean?
shiny.
Like internet market. I mean, what does it mean?
Great question.
I mean, honestly.
And that's the next slide.
Oh, you know what? Is this in there?
Sounds like you got.
Well, it's up there.
Yeah, hang on. Let me just close out of this. There you go.
Oh, there it is. All right, so what is internet marketing? So you guys, there's tons of different types of marketing. There is marketing that's within the practice. There's internal marketing. There's community marketing. There's patient relationship marketing. Internet marketing is anything that you can do online to attract and bring in new patients. We focus on 6 different types of areas out of many, but social media, websites, multimedia content, search engine optimization, paid advertising online in the form of Facebook ads and Google advertising. All of these things are something we're going to go over today. So let me start with this. Who here has a website? 1, 2, 3. Okay, everyone has a website. Great. So one of the things that we look for in a website first when we're doing our evaluations is your website mobile responsive? Who knows what mobile responsive is? What is it? I'm sorry. You raised your hand.
Access it from anywhere.
Yeah, you can access it from any type of device, whether it's a mobile phone, a tablet, a computer. We can see the beauty, the original beauty that was designed into the website, no matter the device. 2, 3 years ago, we were having websites that were designed for mobile phones and computers separately, and they were kind of the dumbed down, ugly version that you didn't want to see when you were on a phone. Today, mobile responsive websites take that desktop beauty and just morph it to the size of the screen, no matter what screen size you're on. So why do we even want that? I mean, it looks pretty, but what's the real reason behind it? Nobody's on their computers. Great. So it's obviously a better patient experience or potential patient experience. Also, did you know that if you don't have a mobile responsive website, you almost have 0 chance at ranking on the first page of Google? It's actually one of Google's indicators, and you cannot rank without mobile responsiveness. We're going to talk about Google a lot. You're probably going to hate the word Google by the end of the day today. But one of the reasons that Google keeps that as a ranking factor is because they want their searchers to have a great patient experience. And if they go to a website that they have to zoom in on or just looks ugly, that's a poor experience, and they don't want to show that website to their search people. So besides it being great for your rankings, it actually converts a higher percentage of potential patients. A patient that goes to a website that's not mobile responsive is going to be much less likely to actually call a practice. So search engine rankings, patient conversions online. So website speed. Please raise your hand if you've ever been on a slow website. Everyone better raise their hand. We've all been on a slow website. So what do you do when you get to a slow website? Turn around? Go to the next one on the list? So you guys, if you have a slow website and you were fortunate enough to be found, whether it was through a referral or through an insurance plan or through the internet or through any other marketing you're doing, and someone gets there and they're like, oh my gosh, this thing is really slow, and they back out and go to the next one on the list, that's terrible. You just earned that potential patient, and now they're leaving because your website's slow. So there's a tool called GT Metrics. There's also Google Page Speed Grader. And these websites will tell you how fast your website is. If you're doing really great, you're somewhere between 2.5 and 3.5 to 4 seconds. Any longer than that, and you're just having a terrible user experience. So I would take a look at your page speed rankings. It could be a combination of your server that your website's on, how your website was constructed, the images being too big, but there's a lot of ways to get that website speed down, and it's really, really important. And again, it's another ranking factor that Google looks for when determining your rankings online. So slow website.
How's it determining the spelling? If you click on it, it takes a long time to load?
So yeah, so when you put it into a program like this, it's basically it's called above the fold loading, meaning that the content that shows up above the fold, how quickly it loads. Because if it's below the fold and it's loading a little bit slower, that's okay because no one's going to notice till they scroll down. But it's all about the above the fold load time. And if you have a really big picture on your home page, sometimes that can cause a really slow loading time because that picture takes a long time to load. So you can use things, I'm getting really technical, but you can use things like certain types of servers that will make it so that image can load quicker. All right, calls to action. What is a call to action? Someone tell me.
Call now.
Thank you. See, before I said someone tell me, no one said anything. But then I did a call to action, and we got a response. So a call to action is actually when someone gets on a website and they see, request an appointment now, call now to request an appointment. All these things are telling potential patients what to do. You guys, we're humans, and there's many humans in the world. What happens when humans aren't told what to do? What do?
Nothing.
They do nothing. So if we're not telling them to call or to submit that contact form, what are they going to do? Nothing.
Are you talking about multiple websites?
What do you mean?
Multiple websites, like have a call to website and a regular website and all of them?
Great question. So on your website, you'll probably see a lot of beautiful dental websites. But the difference between a well-designed website that's beautiful and a poorly designed website that's beautiful is one that has a clickable phone number on mobile. One that says, click here to call now, or submit this contact form to request an appointment. That's telling people what to do on your normal website. You guys have any questions on calls to action? You guys ever seen live chat on a website?
Yes.
All right, we're going to talk about that at the end. That's also a call to action. So I don't know if this will play, but I'm going to attempt to show you guys this, just a few seconds of it. Before we get into multimedia content, who has any questions about websites, website design? I have two pieces to leave you with on a website that I didn't mention. Number one is if you do get a website redesigned, please make sure that number one, it's on WordPress. WordPress is a content management system that allows you to customize your website to look exactly how you'd like. Number two is that if you don't like the agency that built it later on, you can take that website with you and manage it yourself, or almost any other agency can manage that website. And also, you own it. So there's a lot of companies out there that will either charge you nothing or a low fee, and they'll give you a website, you pay something monthly, but as soon as you stop paying monthly, you lose your website and all that value you've built up. So please make sure you own your sites, and it's on WordPress, because it'll save you a lot of trouble in the end.
Do you find that in dentistry that there's something that grabs, I don't know. I know you track new patient activity and stuff through the website, but what is a grabber on a website? Like, what would make me as a patient? I know they've gotten a referral, they've talked to Joe or Joan, and they recommended Dr. Gunn. And so I'm going to go and I'm going to Google her and see is there anything that really works to grab them?
There's a lot of things.
Because there's so much crap on them. Right.
So
right.
we totally, as a company, we don't believe in specials whatsoever. There's a few practices of ours that do, it's fine, there's certain demographics, markets for it, but we don't believe in specials typically. So what patients are looking for, number one, is the who. Everyone's a dentist. And I'm sorry, but no one cares about your technology. No one cares about no one cares about the technology. They don't care about what services you have. I know we all do care. But in order to use that technology, we have to get the patients in the door. And what they really care about is you. They care about your staff. They care about what the office looks like. They care about the reviews you have online, your social media presence that you're creating. We want to utilize all that great technology on them, but they're not going to be able to get to it if they don't like who you are, what you look like, who your practice is when they do find you, whether it's through referral, through insurance, through online, or any other marketing. So we have to show that who. And that's what this multimedia side is about. So you said, first thing you said was, when they get to a website, what can grab them? Well, more and more we're seeing big autoplay videos. being the first thing you see. Why do you think that's getting popular? Video's always been around. It's getting popular because people are realizing that that's what's getting people to convert. That a regular conversion rate of every 100 visitors, you getting 3 to call, you can get that number to 4 or 5 or 6 visitors by putting a a video on your homepage. It's as simple as that. And it doesn't have to be super fancy. There's a lot of companies out there will charge you a couple $1,000 for a video that will last you for years, at least a year or 2. That's going to be able to convert patients at a higher level. Now, what's the average value to one of your patients, guys, per year? 1,000, 1,500, 2,000?
Yeah. A year?
A little high. Some of them are lower. I would say 1,000.
It depends on your area.
Yeah.
I'm in South Florida, so I think we're a little bit higher in South Florida. So, but let's even say 500 a year. If you get 4 patients on a video you spent $2,000 on, for example, and you can probably get it for less, it's worth it. Because that's 2 years of using that video. That's 4 patients that have to decide to use you who otherwise would not have. That's a return on investment right there. Because it's going to be a lot more than 4. So let me show you a little example. This is purely to show you that you don't have to be a great-looking dentist with a great-looking staff, with a great-looking office, with tons of technology. You just have to be you. So the office I'm going to show you is an older office. The doctor didn't want to be in the video. The staff had been there for a long time. The patients loved them. So what do we have to use? It's an older office. We couldn't show a lot of things. We highlighted the staff members and their passion for the doctor in the office.
When patients are first coming in, I feel like a lot of them are very overwhelmed.
Can you hear it at all?
Neglected their smile for such a long time. They put their family's interest first. So now it's time to take care of them.
I'm just going to show a little bit. You guys, there's tons of beautiful offices too. I'm sure some of you do, or all of you do. There's a lot you can show, but here we're highlighting the staff.
After we're done with their treatment and they're just happy and smiling, and that's a big deal. Smiling is important. One of the things that I love about coming to work is obviously the staff. We're a great big family here, and we have a lot of fun working together. And the patients, our patients are great. We have some very friendly patients, and they become like family to us after a while. I think what makes.
So just to give you a little bit of the gist. Now, there's a lot of places you can use this video. Let me give you some examples. Number 1, the home page of your website, you're not even going to have audio. It's just going to be cycling through these quick shots, these quick videos of the staff, of the patients, of the doctor, of the office, of the front of the office, of the technology. There's so much that you can show. You can also put it in the cover photo as a cover video of your Facebook page. And you can also use it in Facebook advertising, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on here. Do any of you have questions about videos for your practice?
No, we just made one and it's beautiful. It was worth $1,000. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Great.
We just found out when we pull up our website on a computer, it plays beautifully. Pulled up on our phone, nothing.
There's a plugin to fix that, but you definitely should get that going. If you check out our own website, and you'll see you can get that autoplay on mobile too. Another thing that you guys should know is that you don't have to do super high-end videos. I mean, there's companies that will charge you $8,000, $12,000 for a video. It's totally unnecessary. You spend $1,000, perfect. Perfect.
We'll offer it at the time out.
And to go even a step further,
Act natural. Okay. Elevate for me.
it's editors like Emily that make everyone look great and sound great. So, but to go one step further, and we'll talk about a little bit more in the Facebook advertising portion, is authentic, real videos, self-shot on an iPhone or an Android, do very, very well on Facebook especially. But we'll get to that. What is search engine optimization? Someone tell me what it means. I know you've all heard it at least 100 times.
Aren't you like the top of the engine, or like when you search for something, you're going to be the top of the listing?
Within the top 5 to top 10 on the search engine, like a Google search?
So it's the process of getting there is to search engine optimize. So search engine optimization is the process of doing the things it takes to get there.
So many stars, right?
So we're going to go over all the factors that go into it. Well, not all, because there's over 100, but we'll go over the major ones. So I know this is super small, guys, but I want to show you. At the top, what are those top 4? Those are paid ads. That will be in the next section. What we're talking about when it comes to search engine optimization is the map section, which we call local organic search, or the section below it, which we call worldwide organic search. Okay? So we are talking about getting here and there. So first of all, why do we want to do search engine optimization? Everyone says it's great, but like, why?
Because you're the first person they see, or hopefully the first.
When someone's searching. And it's when someone's searching for your name, of course, but more importantly, for dentist near me, dentist in Melbourne, dental implants Melbourne, all these different search terms. And in the average city in Florida, there's a minimum of 5,000 to 10,000 searches per month for dentistry and dentistry-related services, a minimum. In some cities, you get upwards of 35,000 searches per month. Yes.
As a consumer, if I go and I search for something, I know the top ones that say ad, they paid to be there.
Yep.
So I actually go past them because I don't want the ones that paid to be there. I want the ones that are here because they're stars. So is that correct as a consumer?
I do too. But let's do a poll. Who here?
People pay for Google searches too.
Yeah.
They do.
So that's why I'm kind of like, do I?
I skip them.
So who here actually, let me go back, clicks on those top 4 in their day-to-day? Raise your hand if you click on them. It's okay. Okay? Tara, we got one?
Pure laziness. Only if I recognize the company or product. If I don't, I go down.
Don't you go higher up on Google if they review you?
You do. We're going to get to...
I've seen dentists pay for lots of reviews to bury their battery. They pay for good reviews which are fake.
So what they're talking about right now is those ads at the top that are paid and have nothing to do with the reviews. You just pay money to be there based on a bidding system.
I've seen dentists have 190 reviews.
Oh, yeah.
There's no one.
We'll talk about that in a second. So you guys, Tara's the only one that raised her hand about the Google ads, right?
Is that bad?
Pretty much.
It's statistic. It's it's statistically accurate though. It's statistically accurate. Less than 20% of the population clicks on Google ads.
Less than 20%.
Less than 20%. But does that make the 20% of those people, of the population, irrelevant? Is Tara irrelevant?
I am not.
So
why are they paying for it then?
we're going to get to that in the next ad section. But it's a whole different buyer persona, someone who goes to Google ads.
Oh, God.
But let's talk about SEO, the way that the reviews can help you, social media. I want to talk about why it matters. So if there's an average of a minimum of at least 5,000 to 10,000 searches per month for dentistry in every city in Florida, we want to be there, right? If we're not an option on that first page, most likely at the top, are we going to get a patient from Google?
No.
None. Zero. You will not get a patient.
Page 2, that's it.
And you know what? Some people aren't even going to the bottom of page 1. But on page 1, we say it's pretty good. Anywhere. Now, once they can find you, back to your question, what do they look at? They're going to look at your reviews. They're going to look at how good your website looks and you and the dentist and the staff in the office. They're going to look at your social media to see if you're fun. They're looking at all these things to determine who is the best dentist. I can tell you guys, I make a lot of really bad dentists look really great online. And it's true. It's all about what you look like online. And obviously, whether you're great or you're not great, it's about the image online, converting these patients when you get there. So you have to be there.
But, so, didn't you say that the average time that people are on websites is how long?
It's typically about a minute to 2.5 minutes, somewhere in there.
So you gotta grab it.
Oh, you gotta grab them quick.
If they weren't referred, you gotta grab them.
Yes, well, even if they were referred, you still have to grab them. Because there's a lot of people who go, you know what, I got 3 referrals today. I'm gonna check out all 3. Or, you know, I got this as a referral, but how much do I really trust Betty? You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna think about a lot of different things. Yeah. So they think about a lot of different things. But, okay, so you get to the first page of Google, you're an option, they land on your website, they check you out, you look great, they call, your staff is great, they make the appointment, they show up, they accept treatment, you make money. But it all starts with being on the first page of Google. And if you aren't there, you cannot even go to any of those next steps. So it increases your traffic to your website, drives more leads to the practice, and of course, we're all going for more revenue. Now, I'm going to warn you all about this one. This slide is the most boring slide that I have, but will give you the most insight into how SEO works. So if you ever talk to anyone about SEO, you're going to understand what it takes to actually rank on the first page of Google. Number 1, there are 350 directory listings online. Yellow Pages, Google, Bing. You've probably heard of those. But also Hot Frog, Manta, City Search. I can go on and on of these obscure directories. They are.
Seriously?
Yes. And no one uses them. But who do you think uses Yellow Pages? Who do you think crawls through Yellow Pages and City Search and all these different obscure directories that no people actually go on? It's the word that I told you you're going to hate by the end of today. Google. Thank you. If your directories are all solid on all these directory listings, and Google sees that, you're actually trusted more by Google. And the more trust that you have, the more accurate information you have and content that you have online, the better rankings you're going to get. Now, it's a small piece of the ranking factors, but it is a piece. Having original content, this one gets me. There are a lot of companies out there who will spit a website out very quickly. And a lot of it is because they have pre-written content. That sounds really great. This all sounds wonderful. Why is this a bad thing? If you put content on your website that is on someone else's website, anywhere in the world, and trust me, Google matches them up, it's called a duplicate content penalty. You're essentially not going to get your website to rank for quote-unquote plagiarism, what they call duplicate content, and because you're not providing value to the internet. You are not unique. You are not a creator. So because you don't have this content that's original on your own, you cannot rank on Google. It just can't happen.
Do they tell you that? Do they send you like a you suck letter?
They,
Do you just like not get that star? Like,
so,
how do you know that that's happened?
so if you aren't ranking well on Google and you don't know if that was the case on your website that you built, copy and paste a paragraph from your website, put it into Google, and see if other websites pop up. What's that? Pictures are okay. Google actually doesn't know what a picture is or what it looks like unless you tag it on the back end, and that's all typically custom tagging. So it's all really about the text.
What if I'm ranking in one location but not in any of my others?
Ranking in one location, not in yours. That means you need more physical pages on your website that are dedicated specifically to those locations. It means that it's probably your main location, your first locations that's ranking really well. Yeah, it means that the other locations don't have dedicated pages that are keyword optimized for those specific cities.
Got it.
So having original content. Now, what is metadata or meta information? So it's other more boring stuff, but it's how you describe your website on the back end. It's how you label your images. It's the titles of your pages that Google reads to know what the information is about before it even gets to the page. And if your meta information doesn't have the keywords you want to rank for in it, it doesn't have dental implants Melbourne in that title of the page, there's no possible way that you can rank that page for any content that has to do with those keywords. Make appropriate use of anchor text. Has anyone ever seen like click here and it's a link? Yeah. So that click here is the text for that link anchor. We want that click here to instead say, contact our Melbourne dental practice, for example. And when they click on it, it goes to the contact page so they can contact the Melbourne dental practice. Google doesn't know what's on the other side of that link unless you label that link something relevant. And every page on your website should have 3 links that lead to elsewhere. Again, the most technical page on this slideshow, so please bear with me. But I think it's important for you to know. Content. You should have at least 300 to 500 words for every page on your website, including your homepage. If you have less than 300 words, it's not enough content for Google to consider it relevant. Therefore, your page cannot rank because other websites with more content, more production will rank above you. Check that all the page, link to your social media pages. So this is a big one that people don't even realize all the time. They get a website built, they go, looks great. You guys, if you have a Facebook or a Twitter or an Instagram or a LinkedIn or a Pinterest, whatever you're using, and your website doesn't link to it, and your social media profiles don't link back, how is Google gonna know that they're related? You know, I have tons of dental practices that have a name that name exists somewhere else as well. But unless you link to each other, they're not gonna know that they're related. And 30%, this is very shocking to a lot of people. If you've ever done SEO before and it didn't work, I would ask, did you do social media as well? If you don't do social media with your search engine optimization, you're missing out on 30% of what Google looks for in its ranking factors. 30%. So if you're doing the best SEO in the world and you're not doing social media, you're missing out on 30% of what Google's looking for.
I got a question.
Please.
Sorry, should have probably asked it in the last slide. So I was Google mapping a Google map.
Okay.
A doctor in South, I was staying down south, and it took me to the office I was looking for never would pop up on Google Maps, but another doctor with the last name the same is where it took me to. And I kept trying to change it, and it kept taking me to that office. Why is that?
So that means that his Google Map listing or his local search results probably weren't even optimized for his own name, which is really not good.
Not good at
Yeah,
all.
that should be a minimum.
So the Google Maps, because we get phone calls all the time about that, so that's something we really should pay attention to.
Yeah.
Yes, you really should. Because if you're doing great SEO, or even if you're not, and you have people who are just searching for you by name and your map listing is off in any way. I was at a practice in Jacksonville last week, and he didn't even have his website on his Google listing. Like, no one could even get to his website that found his name. So you really want to make sure all your listings, all those directories we just talked about, are fully filled out, especially on Google.
Where do they match? Like, I have a doctor over in Tampa, and like the Google Map name and his actual like name when you Google are totally different. They don't interchange, so it's so confusing me. I can never freaking find his office.
And that can hurt your rankings too.
That's what I told him. I was like, you need to fix this. I was like, you need to call someone. I was like, if I'm having trouble, your patients are never going to show up.
And another thing that can hurt your rankings, guys, is if you have multiple map listings for your location. Like you have a practice name, and then the doctor also has his name on his own map listing. That's a duplicate listing that will actually hurt the rankings for that location.
How can we check Google Maps? And it or to correct it?
Use our website or go direct to yext.com, Y-E-X-T, and you can run a directory listing scan to see what is incorrect and correct on 87 of the top 350 directories. All right, guys. So I'm almost past this slide. It gets more fun again. So, blogging. Who here has been told to blog? Who here has been told that you should be blogging? Why did they tell you that? Do you know why?
Stay relevant.
That's what I think.
But if you blogged, what would you even blog about?
Like anybody cares.
Community events.
Things that patients want to know about.
Googling.
Community events are one good thing to blog about. You might blog about. That's good for your current patients and potential patients to see. But why is everyone telling you to blog?
It's the new thing.
Just the new thing.
I don't have time to read a blog.
The point is, we tried it. So we had one hygienist who had different locations with all the codes. She did a little video. It was great, got a lot of response. But then nobody else wanted to write down anything. So we were hoping we can get away with not doing it, letting the staff do it.
Has anyone ever taught you guys how to blog?
No. No time for that.
You know, I've heard that a lot of dentists go into dental school and they didn't even know how to brush or floss right before they got into dental school. I've heard that was actually a thing. I don't know if it's true or not. But you guys, you've never blogged before. How can you be expected to know what to blog about?
But we have staff that are like 20-something. So they should know.
So you would think they would. I'm gonna get to the point, I promise. But there might be 20-something, and they might know what a blog consists of. You know, it consists of putting words on a piece of paper and putting it on the internet. But you guys, there's a very specific way to blog that I guarantee almost no one in your office knows how to do. And that any blogging efforts you would have tried would have been a waste of your time anyways. There's 3 reasons why we blog. Number 1 is so that we can keep the website up to date. So if we want to post community events, we want to post cool things, that actually can be good. Because if your website's updated last week compared to one that was updated last month, you actually have a better chance at ranking more because you have more accurate or up-to-date content. But that's not the 2 real reasons why we blog. The second one is, when you blog, you add more pages to your website. More pages creates a bigger net for more pages to be found on Google. There are thousands and thousands of targeting parameters, from age to language to everything, ethnicity, and we can utilize those. So I'm gonna give you just a couple fun examples in this part of the conversation. We have a doctor. He does not speak Spanish, but he has a Spanish-speaking population around him. And he has an assistant who does speak Spanish. So does the doctor need to speak Spanish? No. Absolutely not. So Dr. So-and-so said, "Hola, me llamo Dr. Tu es," and Mariela goes, "Me llamo Mariela," and I don't speak Spanish, so she continues saying what she was saying. And she was welcoming the local community to the practice. $300, 30 days, 23-second video, 17 new patients, $65,000 in revenue. Why? Because the local population had never had a doctor speak their language, inviting them to the practice. It was amazing. We've now redone it in Portuguese. We've done it in Creole. We've done it in Russian. We've done it in Hebrew. There's so many niches out there, guys. And if you speak to them with the correct messaging, put a tracking phone number on the ad, obviously, depending on the niche, you're going to know who they are. I mean, if they're calling you up speaking Russian, it's from your Russian ad. So it's super trackable. It's super trackable. That's one. And that's been redone, and it still works. Another one, we had a doctor who took the insurance plan, I think it was for Florida Power and Light, and a lot of them lived in the area. Well, we can target Florida Power and Light workers based on what they put on Facebook. So we said, hey, Florida Power and Light, we accept your insurance plan, and we're having a special, come on in. In that case, we had a special. Now, one of the most recent ones that are really working well is called lead form ads. Lead form ads. These are ads that go out, and they kind of maybe have a little bit of long form text, meaning there's a lot of content in the advertisement, a great image to catch their attention, and it basically says, click here for a consultation. On Facebook, when they click, it opens up a form. The form autofills their information. The information goes right to the office. Now, the key with this is that you have to have someone who's looking at these forms right away and calling these patients up, because 20 minutes later, they forgot they were even on Facebook. But when you're doing those form ads, they can be very successful, very trackable, and you can go super, super deep with it depending on the kind of practice you are, and do drip email campaigns, like you said, going really deep with a lot of different things. But long story short, videos do very well. Even a video where you're not speaking a different language, and it's just you saying, hey, we're accepting new patients, love to see you. One of the first videos we did was, what was her name? I don't remember the name of the doctor, but she was an associate in a practice. She was just coming in. And our client said, we're getting a new associate. We want to not only attract all the patients that know her 10 miles away, but we want to make sure new people can see her. So they shot a video, a little bit off-centered. It was a little bit weird looking, but it was authentic. And it was just shot with an iPhone. It was like the first video they ever shot, I swear. And they put that on Facebook. I think we did like $300, $400, $500, something like that, over a month or two period. She was going to the car wash. Oh, you're that doctor dentist on the Facebook. She was going to clothes shopping. And my client was calling me, our associate is being seen everywhere. This is amazing. Now, we didn't have a lot of tracking tools with that campaign at the time, but the fact that the doctor was being noticed everywhere from her face on Facebook, I think was great enough advertising for the little bit of money they invested. So those are just a few different types of advertising you can do on Facebook, guys. You can get super creative, especially if you're fun, or especially if you're open to shooting video, because video is like key now. That $1 spent could bring you multiple patients, tons of patients over a lifetime, if looked at it correctly. So what to do? It's really as simple as shooting really cool videos, or authentic videos that are just you, whether they're fun or not fun, that are just you. Getting them out there, making sure you're targeting the right audiences in the right areas. And get a tracking phone number on it so you actually can tell whether or not someone's calling you, because tracking and analytics is super important. And is it costly?
Is it costly to put specific phone numbers on specific uses?
No, you can get like callrail.com. I think it's like $65 a month plus the minutes. So you might spend like max $100 a month tracking your calls. But it's very valuable because you're going to spend all this money, and what if it's bringing you nothing? You want to stop, or get another video up, or target a different demographic. It hasn't been every video that we've run that was successful, but we get to know whether it's successful or not because of the tracking.
Right, what to do, what not to do.
Exactly. Because you're not just going to do everything in marketing and hit the nail on the head every single time. So track it so you can know if you are. All right. Now to Google Ads, Tara's favorite thing. So Google Ads, guys, I want to give you the pros and cons of Google Ads versus SEO. Let's go through them real quick because it's very important to understand. SEO, cons, takes 3 to 6 months to start ranking until your investment starts paying off. Cons, very tough to track because you can't put a tracking number on your main website. It comes down to asking patients where they came from and having your staff log that they came from the internet. Pros, 80% of the population goes to organic search. Pros is that it's more trusted. You're going to have a better patient, patients that are more likely to spend money, accept treatment. They're coming to you for quality, not a discount, okay? So if you can wait the time and you can have a great staff who's going to track it, SEO is kind of the place to be. Google Ads. Let's go over the cons. You're always going to get the same amount of phone calls for the same amount of money. It can never grow unless you add more to your budget. Cons is that it is typically a different buyer persona, meaning they're typically more of a shopping type personality. Tara, I don't know if you're a shopper, but they
Amazon I do it with. Because I usually type in Amazon and it's the first one that comes up.
That makes sense.
I'm helping Amazon.
That makes sense.
With their 20%.
So it's typically going to be someone who's looking for a deal or a discount. They're used to going to the Google Ads section and seeing 25% off, this free. It's kind of the Groupon-ish mentality. Pros, super trackable. And another pro is that it can make you a ton of money. But how? There's only 4 dental services that work well with Google Ads. And if you've ever run it for any of these 4, there was no chance you were going to have success. Now, before I tell you the 4, why is it these 4? Low cost per phone call, high return on investment in terms of revenue, and a high purchase intent, meaning they really want to buy. They're not just doing research. It tends to be implants, cosmetic dentistry, emergency dentistry, and Invisalign. Clear, correct, whatever you have. Those are the ones that are going to make you money on Google. What you should be looking out for with a well-run Google ad campaign is that you're not sending people to your website. You're sending them to a landing page where there's a tracking phone number and a tracking form and maybe live chat, which is our last section right after this, and that you can track the people who are coming through. You should be able to get a phone call for less than $85 per call. Now, I want to do some math with you guys. You spend $1,000 a month, okay? That's what you're giving Google to put your ads up there. It's run very, very well, and you're getting it for $85 a phone call, or maybe even $50 a call. We've gotten them as low as $21 a call before, but I like to say $85 to be safe. But I want to do some easy math, so let's say 50. So let's say it's $50 a call, because it can't get that low. $50 per call is going to get you how many phone calls on $1,000? 20, right? Of those 20, let's say 5 of them are just BS calls, okay? At least 15 pretty good calls. Let's say out of those 15, you get 10 people to come in. Let's say out of those 10, 7 accept treatment. Well, if that's for implants, emergency, cosmetic, or Invisalign, those 7 patients are going to make you a lot more than $1,000. But you have to track it and be willing to understand that a majority of your phone calls will not convert. But it comes down to tracking the ones that do to see if there's a return on investment. So what are the 4 case types that you can do Google advertising for? Implants, Invisalign, cosmetic, and emergency. I want to tell you guys one more thing about emergency, because it's super cool and it makes a big difference in terms of your return on investment. There's 3 types of emergency dentists. You all are probably number 1, at least, which is you're going to pick up the phone during business hours and schedule someone for the next available appointment, right? At the very least. Category 2, you're going to pick up the phone, or someone will pick up the phone on a night or a weekend and schedule you for the next available time during business hours. And at category 3, which I tell all my startups to be, which is, at the very least, pick up the phone on nights and weekends and come in on a night or a weekend, especially if it's a great case. I highly recommend that everyone becomes at least a category 2 emergency dentist, someone where they have an after-hours answering service or someone in the office who can answer phones, because if you run ads for emergency after hours, someone can pick up the phone, get them on the calendar, even for the next day or whenever it is, that's thousands of dollars to be made because you picked up a phone and another dentist didn't. It's easy money, guys. And you don't have to spend a lot of money in Google Ads because there's not that many people advertising for it. So what to do? Out of everything we talked about today, Google advertising is probably one thing I would tell you not to do on your own. The reason being is you can easily spend your money and get phone calls for way higher than you should. Think about this. If you have to pay a company a few $100 to help you out, and they're going to get you calls for $80 a call, and you're getting your calls for $250 a call, sounds like they're saving you a lot of money. They're getting you triple the amount of phone calls for the same amount of money you're spending, but you have to give them a little bit to help you. It really, really makes a big difference. So don't run them on your own. Get someone to assist you because you're going to get a very high cost per phone call that wouldn't make financial sense in the end when it comes down to looking at the numbers and the money that you made. So we're getting to the last topic here, and we'll let you guys all go home. Live chat. So I know it's late, and we don't have live chat running right now, but I want to tell you guys about live chat and all the different variations that there are. Live chat, what is it first? Live chat is a live chat agent who pops up on your website and initiates a conversation automatically with every single website visitor. If you have no website visitors, how many people are going to chat with you? 0, thank you. So let's say you do have website visitors, whether it's because you get a lot of referrals, you do other marketing, you do online marketing, whatever it is. Let's say you have website visitors. The average dental website is going to convert 3 out of every 100 visitors to a contact. What does live chat do? When you initiate a conversation with all these people, you're effectively giving them another way to contact you. So I'll preface it with this. I am not a live chatter. I do not live chat online. I pick up the phone. I want things done now. But there is a whole segment of the population that does live chat. And they go, oh, wow, this person's popping up. How much are implants? Can I make an appointment? These are people who would have otherwise not called your office, who are contacting you because it was as easy as a chat. Now I want to tell you a little story. We had a doctor in Lake Worth. He has a big practice, spends a lot of money on marketing. And he was getting about 90 new patients a month, all for implants. We put live chat on his website. This was before we ran it as a company. And who do you think we gave that live chat to do these conversations? The front desk person? Yeah. How do you think that turned out? Terrible. She'd been there for a very long time, and let me tell you, she was not excited about getting a new job on top of everything else she had to do. So at the end of the 30 days, I said, Dr. So-and-so, how'd live chat turn out? Shay, worst idea ever. What's the next idea? Let's do something else. He loved doing tons of things. And I said, let's go through this and see why it was such a bad idea. So we go through the chats, and she was literally like, someone would say, I want to make an appointment. She would say, no, you don't know how to use a phone. Yes. So they got 0 patients from live chat. So I said, doctor, allow me to bring it into our company. I have people who are there 9 to 5. I'll put them on your chat. It can't be too hard. Let's run it. End of the 30 days, I came back. He had 35 new patient leads from live chat. And all he did was put live chat on there. So he went from 80, 90 new patient leads per month to 120 by just adding live chat. No other marketing. He would have had to spend thousands of dollars a month more to get those patients to contact him. But instead, he spent $375 a month and got an extra 30. Now, it's about the conversion rate. So if you're getting 5 people from your website per month right now, this might get you 1 more. If you're getting 20 from your website right now, this might get you 5 or 10 more. But it's about the number of people who are hitting your site, whether or not it's going to be successful. So let me talk about how this runs. We initiate the conversation. We capture the information, name, phone number, email, what they're looking for. We email it to the office. Now, how many of you are looking at your email every 5 seconds like I am? No one. So there's a lot of companies out there that are doing live chat. We are the only one who we pick up the phone, and before you even get the email, your phone's ringing, and we're telling you, look out for the email, because it's coming right now. So you guys get that call, you hang up, check your email, patient's there, pick up the phone, call them. Across the board, if you're calling these new patients within 5 minutes, there's an extremely, extremely high treatment acceptance rate. I'm hearing as high as 80% treatment acceptance from live chat patients from my clients. We have over 100 practices on our live chat right now. We run it from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And it's all about not just only having that chat as an option, but the customer service you guys all display in getting back to that patient so quickly. They're not coming to you because, oh wow, I chatted with them, that was cool. No, it's like, oh my God, sometimes I can't even get someone to answer the phone, but now I chatted and they called me back so quickly. That's what amazes them. Why would they not come to you? There's other companies out there who will do after hours live chat. And sometimes it's cool and sometimes it's not. My opinion on that is that you don't have the opportunity to call back a patient within minutes when it's after hours. You're calling them back the next day, which makes it actually typically a waste of your time because most of those patients aren't picking up the phone the next day because they were expecting a call in the middle of the night, even though that's weird that they should expect that. They still are. So we really see a lot of success and a lot of unwasted time by capturing the patients during business hours where you can make that conversion very quickly. So, any questions on live chat? I'll leave you guys with this. It's not too late. Everyone thinks, oh my God, so-and-so down the road's doing this, they're doing that. How can I build up my Facebook page? How can I outrank them? They're such a big practice. There's ways to win. There's always a way to win. And you just have to start, and you have to do it all. You can't pick and choose. You have to choose to do and choose to move forward with every piece that's going to make your practice successful. And you don't have to take all the burden and all that time on yourself. You do have to take the time at the very least to delegate it, to find a great company to do it. But no matter if you delegate it or find a great company to do it, you have to be willing to create a partnership with them that's going to be able to be successful, because not everything works, and you will never know something's not working unless they tell you, unless you guys tell us, unless you guys tell your marketing company. Does that make sense? So it's a partnership. Don't look at a marketing company as a vendor, look at them as a partnership. If you look on our Facebook page today, I was posted in an article online today about telling it how it is to your clients, and we definitely tell it how it is. So it's not too late, and thank you all for listening today. If you could do me one more favor, pick up your pens, and there's a form on your table that says free internet marketing analysis, and put your pen to that paper and fill it out if you want to hear from me. If you don't want to hear from me, do not fill it out. And now this is not for me to sell you something. This is purely for me to get you on a call with you for 15, 20 minutes to go over your internet marketing presence, give you guys some feedback that you can use to actually be successful yourselves. What you want to do with that information is totally up to you. There's no pressure to fill this out, no pressure to talk with me, no pressure to use us. I'm just happy you guys listened to me today. Thank you. What's that? You can run with that as long as you'd like. Oh, one more thing I would like to offer you too. Free 30 days of live chat. Ooh, test it out. Shut up. Yes, now remember, it's only going to work if you have website traffic, so please know that. But I'm willing to put it on there and see if it works, because once it does, I mean, for the amount that you're investing, it's a no-brainer.
You don't have to have a separate phone number. How do you track that?
So all you have to do every month is go to your email and type in live chat, and all the emails we sent will pop up with their timestamps on them, so you'll know how many you got every month.
Gotcha. 10-4.
So great.
So free live chat, give me a call. My cell phone number is the 2481. Leave the paper behind if you'd like to talk. And thank you all again.
Thank you. Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.